Now, old Joe and Split Dog, they went on to have many, many adventures, and this is, let me see. Oh, yes, this is adventure number 1. Here we go. Old Joe and Split Dog like to go camping. Here you can see on the map they were camping at a place just north of Yakandanda, east of Mullingadra and south of Walbundry. Have you got that? Do you want me to say it again? North of Yakandanda, east of Mullingadra and south of Walbundry. Good. It's important that you remember that. Old Joe woke up, he stretched and he yawned, and before you could say Burrumbuttock, that's another Australian place name, his false teeth jumped out of his mouth and ran down a goanna hole. But old Joe hadn't noticed. He cut himself a slice of bread, he made himself a sandwich, he opened his mouth wide to take a bite, but he couldn't get a grip.
What's this? What's happened to me teeth? I can't get a grip.
He looked everywhere. He looked in his sleeves, he looked in his pockets. He even looked in the goanna hole. But you and I know that teeth can be very, very quiet when they're hiding in a goanna hole.
I know what I done. I think I must have swallowed me teeth. That's what I done. I swallowed them.
So he tipped himself upside down and he gave himself a good shake. And it was while he was upside down that his teeth shot out from the goanna hole and ran off down the road. Old Joe scratched his head and he said,
"Oh no! Look at that! Look at that! I wish those teeth would get back in my mouth where they belong."
And he took off after those teeth as fast as he could, but those teeth just laughed. Yakety yak, snickety snack, tickety bow, you big gnu. And down the road they ran. It didn't matter how fast old Joe was. He wasn't going to catch those teeth. And anyway, they'd smelt something. They'd smelt something cooking in Mrs. O'Sullivan's kitchen. What was it? You are right. It was a cream cake, a double sponge with passion fruit icing and strawberries on top. Before you could say Burrumbuttock, those teeth flew through the air and chop. Mrs. O'Sullivan's cream cake was gone. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, what have you done? I wish you would give me back my cream cake right now. But the teeth just laughed. Yakety yak, snickety snack, tickety bow, you big gnu. And down the road they ran. With, let me see, old Joe and Mrs. O'Sullivan in hot pursuit. Those teeth had smelt something else. What was it? It was Mr. Blandowski's sausage. Polish sausage. This is not any kind of sausage. This is extra strong garlic sausage. Mr. Blandowski was just about to take a bite. But before you could say Burrumbuttock, those teeth flew through the air and chomp. Mr. Blandowski's Polish sausage was gone. Oh, no, no, no. What have you done? Oh, you have taken my sausage. I wish you would give it back to me right now. But those teeth, they just laughed. Yakety yak, snickety snack, tickety bow, you big gnu. And down the road they ran. With, here he comes. Let me see. Old Joe, Mrs. O'Sullivan, and Mr. Blandowski in hot pursuit. But those teeth were so fast and it smelled something else. What was it? What is it? No, it's not cheese. It's roast chicken. Jacamara's roast chicken. We say chook. We call it a chook. Well, before you could say Burrumbuttock, those teeth flew through the air and chomp. Jacamara's roast chook was gone. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, wish you'd give me back me roast chook. Please. But those teeth just laughed. Yakety yak, snickety snack. Tickety bow, you big gano. And down the road they ran. With, here we go, Old Joe, Mrs. O'Sullivan, Mr. Blandowski, and Jacamara in hot pursuit. But there was something else. What was it? Well, it's like a kebab, except Mrs. Takahashi was cooking it, and she called this chicken yakitori. She was standing at the griller, turning the chicken yakitori. But before you could say, Baram Buttock, those teeth flew through the air and chomp! Mrs. Takahashi's chicken yakitori was gone. That's not easy for me to say. She said, "Oh no, oh no, I wish you'd give me back my chicken yakitori." But the teeth just laughed. Yakety yak, snickety snack. Tickety bow, you big gano. And down the road they ran with, here we go, Old Joe, oops, here we go, cards are sticking together. Oh, there we go, with Old Joe, Mrs. O'Sullivan, Mr. Blandowski, Jacamara, and Mrs. Takahashi in hot pursuit. Well, meanwhile, back at the camp. Well, do you remember where that was? You don't remember? North of Yakandanda, east of Mullingandra, and south of Walbundry, somebody woke up. It was Split Dog. Where's Old Joe? He should be here. What's happened to him? Split Dog rolled around the camp looking for Old Joe's tracks until he found them. He followed those tracks until finally up ahead he could see those false teeth being chased by Old Joe, Mrs. O'Sullivan, Mr. Blandowski, Jacamara, and Mrs. Takahashi. Thought Split Dog, those teeth are very cunning and they're very fast. I need an ingenious plan. Split Dog knew something about those teeth. He knew that inside that set of teeth there was one tooth that was very, very sweet. A sweet tooth. So, Split Dog hatched a plan. He found a nest of honeybees. He collected a big lot of honey, stuck it in a pot, and he stirred it, and he stirred it, and he stirred it, and he stirred it with his tail. He stirred that honey until his tail was good and sticky. Then he sat down in the middle of the road with his tail up, straight, still as a concrete dog, only his eyes moved. Well, those teeth came running down the road. Sticky honey toffee. Well, before you could say Baram Buttock, those teeth flew through the air and chomp. Split Dog said, "Ow! Ow! Oh!" The teeth said, "Oh. Oh. Oh." They were well and truly caught. And so, you see, Old Joe, he got his wish. He got his teeth back. But, Mrs. O'Sullivan, Mr. Blandowski, Jacamara, and Mrs. Takahashi, well, I'm afraid the cream cake, the Polish sausage, the chook, and the chicken hard for me to say, chicken yakitori, were never seen again. So not all wishes come true. And that, my friends, is the end of the story.